Hey everyone, so we're going to be doing a little video today. It's going to be covering how to set up audio sources so that you can do video recordings with a little bit more control to them. So the problem I have is I have my microphone, my chat software, so Discord, TeamSpeak, whatever you use, and my game. And I want to separate those into 3 separate channels when I'm recording. That way I can edit them afterwards while I'm doing my video editing. If something's too loud or too quiet, I can turn it up and down without affecting the entire recording, just that specific source. So the tool we're going to be using today is going to be VoiceMeeter. It's from a company, VB Audio, and it's free, completely free. You can donate, and I definitely recommend you do if you find the software to be helpful to you. But it's free to use. So this is their base software. It's just called VoiceMeeter, and it's got 2 hardware inputs and a software input for like internal, like your games and stuff like that. And then it's got 2 hardware outs. This is a little bit too simple for our purpose. Then we've got Banana, and I used it for a very long time. It's very good. 3 hardware inputs, 2 internal inputs, and 3 hardware outputs, as well as 2 internal outputs. So this definitely, we can do what we want with this. But what I'm going to be using is Potato, which is their newest version. It's still in pre-release as of the time of this recording. It's got 5 hardware inputs, which is a little overkill for what we're doing. It's got the same 2 regular internals, and then it's got a 3rd kind of special internal input, and then it's got 5 physical outputs. Again, overkill for what we're using, but it's got 3, you can't really see it in the image there, and we'll see it all once we've installed it, but it's got 3 software outputs, which is really important for us. So we're going to go ahead and download the current version, which is of the time of this recording, is 3.004. And once it's done, we're going to go ahead and install it. Alright, so the software is downloaded. We're going to go ahead and install. We just click the install button. And it's going to install some stuff. So when it's all done installing, it's going to ask us to reboot. Yep, okay, that's fine. We will reboot, then we'll be back. And then it's got this, it brought up a web page saying, thanks for installing our software. Here's some other stuff that you might use, and this is what we'd love for you to donate just to support us, and I think that's definitely reasonable. So we'll restart and we'll be right back. Alright, we're back now, and I've restarted my computer. Next step is, by the way, one of the big things about this is it's definitely recommended if you're going to be doing stuff like this to use one of the newest versions of Windows 10. Because the changes they made to audio in the newer versions of Windows 10 is absolutely incredible. The ability to select per application audio output routing makes this stuff 1,000 times easier. However, you can do it without it. It's just a lot easier with it. So, next thing we're going to do is start VoiceMeeter. So you can see VoiceMeeter Banana is there, VoiceMeeter is there, and VoiceMeeter Potato. That's right. Let's go and take a look at the folders. One thing you'll notice is when you install VoiceMeeter, remember I installed Potato, the most complex version, you've got VoiceMeeter, VoiceMeeter Pro, and VoiceMeeter 8. VoiceMeeter is that basic one, Pro is Banana, and 8 is Potato. So it's actually going to install all 3 of them. What I'm going to be selecting is Potato. Alright, so it's a huge, complicated interface, and for most of you it's going to be kind of intimidating, and I get that. But realistically, we're not going to be using the majority of it. So I'm going to come up here, see where it says Virtual Inputs, and I'm going to right click on the top here, and I'm going to say this one is going to be Main. Oops, Main. And I'm going to say this one's going to be Discord. And Over here we're gonna have, oh no, I don't want there, I want down here, main. Okay, yeah, so realistically there's a lot here we're not going to be using, and I just got a little confused, kind of tried to get ahead of myself. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to go over to hardware input, and you're going to want to select a device. Now WDM and KS are your preferred modes. We're going to stick with WDM, and you can see I've got Yeti stereo microphone here. That's the microphone that I use. So you've selected it, and now the stereo microphone is coming in through this panel here, and you can see A1 and B1 are selected. So that's A1 here. So this would be our output. Now the Yeti automatically loops back into my headphones, so I'm not going to bother selecting that, but I could. So we don't want A1, we do want B1, because that is a software output over here, B1, B2, B3. So now, main is going to go to A1, and we're going to just unselect everything else real quick, just so that you can kind of understand what's going on. So main and Discord, we both want going to A1 and B1. And this one we're going to deselect again. This one's kind of special, and we're not going to worry about it for today. And the Twitch client is running. So you can see that it's showing an app that's running right there that's connected to this channel. That's because when I started my computer, it default had certain things connected already. So I'm going to show you how to set all that stuff up. Now, A1 is going to be my Yeti stereo microphone speaker output, which is my headphones. Now, if you use speakers, you can select your speakers. If you use a different headset, you can select that. This A1 is going to be your headset. Those are physical outputs. I also have A2 set to something, but it's not plugged in right now. Normally it would be set to my TV, which is a third unit I have so people can watch me in the room. So next we're going to be working on the output. And you'll notice A1 and B1 are selected. So we've got B1 here, which I've called main. Now that doesn't change their naming in here. See VoiceMeeter input, VoiceMeeter aux input, VoiceMeeter aux output, VoiceMeeter output. Those are main and aux output, main and aux. See VoiceMeeter VIO, VoiceMeeter aux. Now, let's move forward. What we're going to want to do is go into, you can use either the sounds, which is the classic window, or you can use the sound settings, which is the new window. Either way, what you're going to do is you're going to select VoiceMeeter input and set as default. Output device is going to be VoiceMeeter input, and you'll see that it selected it there. Now I want to set default for both of them, so that also sets for the communications device. Other thing you want to do, communications device will by default be set to reduce the volume of incoming sounds by 80%. I always recommend go set it to do nothing, because you don't want your microphone suddenly getting muted when you're in the middle of recording because it thinks something's communication software like Skype or Discord. So once again, you're going to see similar things here. This panel is really great because you can control the default input and output for everything, which, there we go, which is absolutely fabulous. So per software, volume, and source. So now we're going to deal with some software. So the first thing we're going to do, so we're going to come in here to Discord, and you're going to see I've got a bunch of servers connected, and I've got, this is just kind of a little channel that I've created for myself. So you're going to click user settings, you're going to go to voice, and your input device is going to be VoiceMeeter output, and your output device is going to be VoiceMeeter aux input. So we're receiving audio from VoiceMeeter output, and we're outputting audio to the VoiceMeeter input. What this is going to do is this one channel here, which B1, is going to be our microphone. So Discord is going to receive sound specifically from VoiceMeeter output. This is output, this is aux output. It's something that's not very clear by default. This one doesn't have a source. It's not quite the same. So then, and it's going to change. They're adding more features. Again, this is still pre-release technically. So at this point, we could test it, and you'd find that as I change the levels here, you can see it moving up and down. And if I crank this, you'll see that now I'm way up here versus bouncing back and forth around the bar. So then I can do that, and you'll see I'm bouncing around the bar, and then I drop it way down, and you can see that it can't even hear me. Now you guys can still hear me because OBS is still set to hear my microphone. Now that's something we're going to be changing here in a minute, and I'm going to show you. And it's going to be a little crazy, so I'm going to turn off my video preview, and we're going to close Discord. Now TeamSpeak would be the same idea. You just go into your settings, set things up the exact same way. Now let's bring OBS over here. This is just a basic OBS I've got set up. So we go into settings, audio, and you'll see desktop audio device, mic audio device. Now there is a little bit of a difference between these. Desktop audio is going to read your inputs. It's actually going to accept audio from your inputs, whereas mic auxiliary are going to accept audio from your outputs. Depending on how you have this configured, you can do it several different ways, but we're going to be doing it this way. So I want to record VoiceMeeter input for my desktop audio. And then I want to record VoiceMeeter. You know, we're gonna say that Discord is, yeah, it'll also be an input. So aux input we're gonna record. Then instead of using our microphone, we're gonna select VoiceMeeter output. We're gonna hit apply, and you're gonna hear my voice change. So now I've changed it, and we're using VoiceMeeter as our channel. And you'll see down here we've got 3 bars now. So desktop audio is my Windows audio, and we can go ahead and test that if we go into sounds and we just hit calendar reminder. So that's Windows audio. My games will go there automatically. Everything that isn't programmed to go somewhere else will go there. My microphone is down here in mic aux, and then specifically Discord, if I just bring Discord back up, and I'll pull it over to another monitor, and I'll just make a sound. Should be making a sound if I do something here. I always forget how to make Discord make sounds. There we go. So you can see Discord is specifically on desktop audio too. Now TeamSpeak would be the same thing. It would be in that desktop audio too as well. And if you really want, there is a way to name them. Is it in advanced? No. It's under settings, right? It's under settings, audio. There is, I always forget because I said it and then I forget it. But there is a way to name those. There they are. Okay, so under output, advanced mode, audio, you'll see the names, and I can't set them right now because I'm recording, but you'd be able to name them, and I'll name them and I'll be right back. Alright, so I was being a little silly. You just right click here and you go rename, and you can say like system/game, and then you go here, rename Discord/chat, And then down here, it's already called mic, but I'm going to call it microphone. And I've gone ahead and done it in here as well. And that's separate. So when we go into advanced audio properties, that's where you're going to see this. And it's these channels. So the way I normally have this set up is we go here and we have 1, 2, 3, and then 6 is all 3 channels. And the reason for this is because when I'm streaming, I need to have all 6. But when I'm recording, I want them separated into 3 tracks. And again, we can see that in output. For streaming, I've got 6 selected, but if we're recording, I'm recording 1, 2, and 3. So that allows us to have a little bit more of a control over exactly what we're doing. Now, obviously, I don't stream with this particular setup. I don't have my stream key set up or anything like that. It's a different profile. So anyways, now we've got them separated into 3 separate channels. We've got microphone, Discord, and system. And I'm going to just run you through a couple of other things quickly, but that's pretty much the video. And you can see down here it's got Discord. Here it's got Discord. That's because Discord actually sends on 2 separate channels. One, it's something that I would really like to see them change or allow configuration of. When you go into settings, voice and video, the output for aux is specifically for sound, for voice. But when it sends sound effects, it still sends them over the Windows default source. And you can change that. Obviously, with Windows 10, you can go into sound settings and you can go to other preferences and you'll see Discord all chat here is set to default, as well as Discord is set to default. Now, one of those two, and I always forget which one it is the Discord system sounds, and you can move that into, by force, into another source. Basically make its default something else. But we're not going to bother today, but that's how you can do it if you're using the newer versions of Windows 10, which is one of the reasons I recommend you use it, because some games don't have the ability to select certain things, and it's really nice if something's on the wrong channel to just be able to tell Windows, no, send it to a different place. Anyways, that's been a basic audio setup for routing everything into the right places. So you've got your microphone going to the output, and you've got your games in the input and Discord in the input. And that's all there is to it for recording, at least through OBS. I don't use XSplit personally, so I'm sure there's a similar way, but if you need to capture things through outputs, you can just move them into the B1 and B2. Now, doing that means you don't have access to your microphone until they give B3 an option. The other option, if you need to do something like that, is to go to install the VB audio cable, and then it'll show up as a hardware device, and you can select it and send your microphone to that hardware device. So as I said, my A2 is going to be my TV, but A3 could be a virtual audio cable. And then it would show up on the other end as a hardware device, and you could capture it that way as well. But it has some virtual audio cables built in. I'm looking forward to when they have the third one excuse me, hiccup. I look forward to when they have the third one set up, and we can use 3 channels. There's a lot of other stuff you can do here depending on what level you're at. This changes your audio effects, and a lot of people say that for a male, putting your voice around here really makes it sound better. And then for these things, if you need to adjust the treble or bass depending on what your system sounds like, You can do that. And then there's some new special effects here. A bunch of this stuff only exists in the newest Potato version, but realistically, if you're trying to do what we're talking about, you don't need most of it. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up my little tutorial on setting up your channels so that you can have your microphone, game, and Discord all outputting to your OBS as separate channels. And setting up Discord at the same time because, well, once you've got this set up, you won't have access because it's set to WDM. It may lock you out of accessing your microphone once it unlocks. So like on the next restart, no one would hear you in Discord because VoiceMeeter would be grabbing the microphone. And you'd need to, you'd be like, why isn't it working? But anyways, I digress. So that pretty much sets it up for now. And if we have some more questions, I'll work on a video later for additional features. Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.